what drew me to Red Church really was the way everybody treated each other. To actually plug into Red Church probably started the first time I walked into the parking lot, being greeted by anybody. It was all smiles, welcomes, and I had never experienced that before, and grew up in a church, and it was just something different that I was like, what is happening here? For me, I feel like I've found the place where the balance of truth and grace actually is, where the gospel is actually being preached and lived out. And honestly, the way people love each other is just what has really just yanked my heart 1,000 different ways. I think one of the ways that my life would be different had I not plugged into Red is I wouldn't have all the relationships that I have now. Like, I have such awesome and encouraging relationships, and relationships that have started that I hope to grow at some point, like as time leads, but relationships with other people, like the community, without Red, without having plugged into Red, I wouldn't have that, and I would not be where I am today without it. There's been a few big turning points, I think, but one of the biggest was I was in Foundations, and it was after we had group. We were talking to each other and everything, and I was talking to somebody freely and openly, and I had sort of boasted about my lifestyle, which wasn't in line with God, and it was the first time ever saying that to somebody in a church, and their face not changing. It was like, didn't skip a beat, like I was still a person. And that kind of changed my life. My church hurt was healed at this church through small groups. And that was one of the other pivotal points, is that I had gone through a lot and very deep church hurt that just turned me away from God for the most part. And coming here and getting plugged in and just surrendering everything that I am to God, God used this church to heal that. And I had been told before that the church can heal church hurt, and I didn't believe it because I was like, that doesn't make sense. The church is what hurt me. How could they heal that? And then God showed me here, it was like, the church can heal church hurt. So since coming to Red, the way that God has changed me was honestly getting to know him better. I know God now. I have known of God my entire life, and I feel like he's used Red to help me get to the place where I actually know him. And within that, everything that comes with it, like freedom and living in joy and just living the life that I was meant to through Christ. That's how God has used Red to do that. And now, find joy in serving and just a lot of things that I didn't do for a lot of my life.